Makes me happy. And believe you me, there are many who stand up and say, I am what I am. When I addressed Parliament, Open Parliament this year, I spoke about Tinzwalo. Many people started saying, no, we are not Tinzwalos. But many stood up and said, President, today I'm a pilot. I fly a 747 from Cape Town to London because I am Tinzwalo, because of what this government did for me. Some even say there's a young woman who flies a fighter jet called a Griffon. A young woman who flies this fighter jet, which if we were ever to be at war, she would get into that jet and release a bomb that will go and shoot about 50 kilometers from where we are. She says, I fly this jet right up to the skies. And she says, under apartheid, I would never have been able to do so. Now today she can, which shows that there has been change. Now, the other day we were talking to an aerospace engineer, and this young man was saying, President, I'm able to dismantle the engine of a jumbo jet, a 474. I can dismantle it and put it together again because of what this government has done for me. And there are many such. And there are many others who've started their own businesses, who are able to support their families and. But there are many others who want to succeed as well. And some of you are sitting here. And we are saying, this government is your hope. We are your hope. And when you raise issues, we do listen. And when you want to form an NPO, as one of you said, yes, we will be able to say, come forward to this office and that office, and where you can get assistance, because we've set up assistant processes like that. One of you said there are no schools where I am, where we live. And we want to build more schools, and we are going to build more schools. This is the government that has built more schools, more clinics, more hospitals than any other government there's ever been in South Africa. Because, yes, you can applaud that, because that is true. Now, are there weaknesses? Yes, there are weaknesses. This young lady who's standing here, I didn't get your name, she spoke about the education statistics, the PILS test or survey. She speaks about it knowledgeably. And she says, our children do not read for meaning at grade 4. And that is true to a large extent. Now, so you know, we entered this survey, this test in the world. We're only 4 countries on the African continent who participate in this. We compete with countries like the United States, Russia, England, Canada, and so forth, Australia and all that. Countries that never had apartheid. Even the 3 other countries on our continent never had apartheid education. We've gone in, we're competing with them. The influence and the impact of apartheid persists even today. It is still there. It infected our education system so badly that it is going to take us some time to weed it out. What are the other weaknesses? Sports. A number of you stood up and said, there are no sports in our schools. That is true. And we are addressing that. And we are going to continue addressing precisely that. The other important area which the young lady here should have also reflected on is that we have started late with early childhood development. Many other countries, early childhood development crashes. When children have to go to crash, they start them at 9 months. 9 months, the crash process starts. Other countries in the Nordic part of the world, they start them at 4 months. We have tended to start much later. And when you start an education much later, it's already too late. And many of you would have gotten into the education system a bit too late. Now we are starting, we are correcting what we should have done correctly now. Yes, we still have challenges when it comes to crime, when it comes to safety. 2 young women stood up here and said, we don't feel safe. We fear that we will be raped, we will be murdered, and that is the reality. And there's gang violence. And one young woman stood up and said, my brother has joined gangs at 17. Yes, criminality has increased exponentially in our country. One of the weaknesses we had is that the ratio between population and police had gone out of kilter. And 2 years ago, we realized this. And I said in the State of the Nation address, we are going to employ more police so that we can have more police moving around in our country, looking at the issue of criminality. And that is exactly what we are doing now. And we will continue to improve the criminal justice system to make sure that the people in South Africa feel safe. One of you spoke about gender-based violence. Gender-based violence is about the raping of women, the killing and the murder of women. And one of you said, it's better if the death penalty comes back. And of course, the Constitutional Court ruled that you cannot have the death penalty. And we are a country that is ruled by the rule of law. And a lot of debate continues about the death penalty, but the Constitutional Court, which is the highest decision-making court that resolves disputes in our country, ruled that, yes, there should not be death penalty because our Constitution says everybody has the right to life. But what is our response? How do we respond to gender-based violence? We have tightened the laws. We have tightened the laws to make it more difficult for rapists and murderers, particularly women murderers, to get bail, and also made it much more difficult for them to escape from the clutches of the law. And we say life sentence must mean life sentence for those who rape and for those who murder women. And that is something that we are focusing on. And a number of you have spoken about, and I'm touching things that you have said. You said we must resolve the energy crisis. We are repairing or resolving the energy crisis. You will know as well as I do, the load shedding that we used to experience has tapered down. It is by no means over, because for the longest time, we were not maintaining, Eskom was not maintaining the power stations. And as a result, our power stations weakened, they kept breaking, and now they've adopted the correct approach to take out power stations, to switch them off, repair them, and having repaired them, bring them back. Because by so doing, we have more certainty, rather than when it breaks, repair. When it breaks, repair. It is a process of repairing them and maintaining them properly. And as a result, load shedding is coming down, and it is going to be a thing of the past. We are not the first, and we are not the last country to have an energy crisis. The United States had an energy crisis for years in California. For years. They only resolved it recently. Now, what are we doing? We are now spreading more and more renewable energy, but that opportunity is opening up new avenues, new industries for us. We're now getting into hydrogen. Hydrogen, which we have in plenty resources in our country. We are now getting into the green energy. And that is what's going to require new skills. And that is why we say to our young people, we want you to be trained for the new skills, for the new sectors of the economy, so that you are well equipped. We want you to be trained for artificial intelligence. This morning I had a meeting with somebody who flew all the way from London to come and talk to me about this new sector of the economy that is going to drive economies of the world. And he was saying, South Africa should not be left behind. The young people of our country must be in the digital economy. They must be in artificial intelligence, because that is what's going to drive economies around the world. That is where we want you to be. That is where I prefer you to say, I've passed my matric. I now want to go to college. I want to go and learn about the green economy, the hydrogen economy. I want to learn about the digital economy and artificial intelligence. Because when you get into those, that is when new opportunities open. Not only for you to be an employee, but also to be a job creator. Because I want some of you to be job creators. I want some of you to be rich, to be filthy rich, if you can say that. That's what we want for you. Because it is when you are that this country is going to move forward. And we're doing all this so that you can move ahead. Now, I know that we wanted to finish at 9 o'clock. And I'm finishing now so that Mdumiseni does not chase me out. You want libraries. You want to be in the creative arts. Those are areas that we will want to focus on, and to have libraries and to create and to be in the creative arts. And in the end, many of the issues that you have raised are precisely issues that we are focusing on. And we are very fortunate to have an ANC Youth League which champions the interests of young people. Because it is the ANC Youth League that says to us, President, we are a country that is rich in mineral resources. Can we stop exporting rocks and soil and dust? Can we have them processed here so that we export finished products? And we agree with the ANC Youth League. And we agree with you in the youth formations as you come forward to make a number of proposals to us. So that is why I was saying to you, I am glad that I have this opportunity. Not many presidents have this rare opportunity of listening to young people, of talking to young people. So I honor you, I thank you, and I respect you for giving me this wonderful opportunity, which does not come every day to many presidents of any country. Now, all I'd like to say is that on the 29th, it is you who must take the destiny of this country into your hands. This country is going to be taken forward by yourselves. And the one thing that you should not do, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Be confident and say, this country belongs to us. We are going to shape the future of this country. That is what you should say. Now, I want you to stand on the shoulders. I was once a young person too. But I want you to stand on the shoulders of what generations of young people have done to take this country forward. In the 1940s, well, let me start off with 1912. In 1912, it was largely the younger people who saw that we needed to change and set up a movement like the African National Congress. People like Cde Cyril were still young. People who were still younger in thought and in education and action are the ones who helped to set up the ANC. And in the 40s, it was people like Nelson Mandela, Oliver Reginald Tambo, who were the ones who energized the ANC and turned it into a more sort of action-related organization. In the 70s, it was people like Steve Biko who set up the Black Consciousness Movement, who energized the minds of young people, who said to young people, be proud of what you are. Be young, gifted, and black, and be proud of who you are. And in 76, it was young people, and I want you to stand on their shoulders. It was the young people of 76 who changed the trajectory of this country, who said enough is enough. They are the ones who led the uprising in Soweto and throughout the country. I want you to be like them, to say enough is enough. We are going to take this country forward. We are going to make sure that this country becomes a prosperous South Africa. And today you have the opportunity. You have an organization like the ANC Youth League. It is the only youth formation in the country that is chanting the interests of young people. And it is the only one that is really mobilizing young people to go out and vote in their millions. And today I say, on the 29th, do go out and vote in your millions. Go and tell the others that we as young people must take this country forward. It is your country, it is your responsibility, it is your chance, it is your opportunity, it is your destiny to take South Africa forward. Go and do it on the 29th. Thank you very much.
Pagama, Pagama, Pagama Ramaphosa ixesha. Pagama, Pagama, Pagama Ramamandla. Sabulela, thank you very much. The president has spoken. The message is clear. Let's call our numbers on the 29th of May. Amandla. Away. 2. Thank you very much.